Welcome. Real talk. Is your business currently a duct tape masterpiece? Like you're hitting your revenue goals, but behind the scenes you are struggling because your customer journey is manual, messy, and dependent on you to function? That's why I created Flow Tribe. This isn't a program, it's a 10-week engineering sprint for founders who've hit that 100K revenue and they're ready to stop being a bottleneck and holding things up. We use my proprietary RISE method to rewire your infrastructure. We alternate between brain weeks to learn the strategy and build weeks to actually deploy the systems. We start with a Flow MRI to find your invisible revenue leaks in 15 minutes. Listen. Stop patching processes and start engineering a flow. Apply for the next Flow Tribe cohort at flowtribe.co. That's FLOWTRIBE.co. Let's build your machine. Now back to the episode. To More Than a Brand podcast, the podcast for scaling founders who have hit the 100K mark and realize what got you here won't get you there. You built a fierce brand, but behind the scenes you are struggling. Don't worry, I got you. My name is Lindsay Tramel-Jones, the People CXO and the CEO of Fierceified Creative and Consultant. This show is dedicated to the art and science of customer retention. We're here to help you move from being the bottleneck to being the architect of a customer experience that feels like home and scales like a machine. On this show, we strip away the manual hustle and replace it with soul-backed systems that protect your profit and, most importantly, your peace. It's time to stop chasing the next lead and start stewarding the ones you've already got. You've done the hard part by building the vision. Now let's build the machine. This is More Than a Brand. Let's get into it. Welcome back to More Than a Brand. And if you're in a phase of growth, you know this feeling all too well. The marketing is working, but every new sale feels like a threat to your schedule instead of a win for your legacy. You're filling a bucket with holes in it, sis. That's why it feels that way. The mental load of managing the leaks inside your experience bucket while you put in so much work is what's keeping you from getting to that next level. Today, we're going to talk about retention and specifically why scaling businesses trying to move over that 100 to 150K mark a year is struggling to keep the customers they work so damn hard to get. We're also going to talk about how to move from reacting to churn or the customers creeping out the back door of your business to actually stewarding a customer experience that makes people stay. Now, let's start with a hard truth. Many businesses became so focused on acquiring customers during that social media boom that they completely neglected the beauty and the profitability of retaining them. And I know we all heard it way back when people were saying, show up more, be more present, get on all the platforms, only sell that one thing. They were teaching you how to acquire and bring more awareness, but nobody was really teaching you how to retain them. And studies show that only 18% of businesses shift majority of their focus to retention versus acquiring, whereas we already know that it's cheaper to keep the clients that you have. It's 20 times more expensive to get new clients versus retaining the ones that you already have. We tend to think that if the product is good, they'll stay. But the data tells us a completely different story. So why are scaling businesses losing people? If you've been around for a while, you know that we use a very specific process to identify what part of the customer journey is failing. But today I want to give you 3 specific reasons that why it could be happening for your business. So let's jump right into it. Reason number 1, the dropped feeling. When you were smaller, you can handhold every client, but as you scale, that manual touch, it starts to disappear. And it's not because you don't want to. It is because you just don't have the capacity to do so. If the research shows that you have a common pattern of first-time buyers, but very few repeat buyers, the question you need to be asking yourself is why? The insight is often that clients feel dropped the moment they pay, especially if you have like a smaller, let's say a smaller entry point. They buy the thing and it's like, bam, that's it. This is what I like to call the retention failure. You don't have the infrastructure to hold the relationship to scale it to the next level. The root cause is often that there's no intentional strategy for the relationship after the transaction. I know most businesses have a small entry point or a lower cost entry point to work with them, but they don't have the next steps to help people to scale. So if I have a business and I fix this one thing for you in my smaller entry point, my next step to retain you is to either go deeper or give you a higher touch point. We put all our energy into the conversion stage. Like, we want them to say yes. We want us to pop the question and say yes immediately. But then we put a little to no energy into the retention stage. Like, what does the support look like after they commit? Here's an example of a scalable product. And this is my caveat for this whole episode is if you do not have some kind of scalable product or service, this is not going to work. This is real life with a client that I currently have, and she sells cold pressed juices. And the overall promise of her brand is to help communities have holistically healthy lives. The low cost entry point to her business is you purchase a juice. That is the easiest way to jump into her business ecosystem. Of course, she has a social media and so on and so forth, and you can meet her there. But to support monetarily, you purchase a juice. The next step in her offer is to get you to have a subscription, whether it's monthly or weekly, but you are regularly improving your wellness by getting more fruits and more vegetables because you have a subscription with her business and you continuously are working on your holistic health and wellness. To continue to scale her business, she has created things that completely support her business bottom line. It has branched out to monthly walking challenges, a wellness community where you can meet with like-minded individuals, which is also tied to the juices that you purchase that will help you reach your wellness goals. As much as we build offers and as much as we build our customer experience around our offer to get people inside, the things that happen afterwards have to support them as they move throughout our entire business ecosystem and make them want to stay. Which leads us to reason number 2. You're fixing a symptom and not the systems. So when scaling businesses see churn and they're like, oh my goodness, people are not staying, the reaction is panic. We need to send some more emails. We need to build some more content. We need to do this, that, and the third. But without research to support what you're thinking about doing to innovate that experience, to keep customers, you're just guessing. And you're likely just fixing a symptom and not the actual problem. So if you see data that says customers are leaving, you have to look for the pattern. Is it happening after the second email? Are they buying once and never coming back? Is it the same for everyone? For example, if people stop opening an email after day 2 of a challenge that you're holding, the insights isn't that the email marketing is dead. Don't be like, I'm giving up on email marketing. Like people say, I'm giving up on social media. The insight could be that they are overwhelmed, they could be bored, or maybe you just haven't provided the value that you're supposed to provide. So it's very important that you go and you research before you start innovating and changing your entire customer experience. And this brings us to reason number 3. You may be losing customers out your back door and failing at retention. Is that onboarding gap? When we do retention research, you should always ask, at what point do customers disengage or lose momentum? Because you have to keep the momentum going. We got short attention spans. And often the issue isn't that the product itself, it's the experience of the product. We find that expectations set during the sales process are unclear or unmet during onboarding. And if a customer feels confused or sticker shock regarding the effort required, immediately after buying, they withdraw. Now, granted, some may say, I want my money back, or others may just charge it to the game and they never return. They're going to talk bad about you. Innovation here doesn't mean building a new complex app or putting it on another platform. It might just mean a shorter onboarding sequence or something that has more direct directions on what to do next. It also might mean a personal check-in during a milestone. So how do we fix this and how do we stop the leaks when we're dealing with all this stuff that's happening while we're trying to scale? You don't need another to-do list, and I'm not going to give you one. What you really need is basically to MRI your customer experience and see what's happening. We use our RISE method to find a specific broken pipe in your journey so you can fix what is the priority and what is the actual problem and not start fixing symptoms. So if you're new here, you might not know what RISE stands for, but that's Research, Innovate, Strategize, and Evolve. And the bottom line is to help you build a customer experience that is clear, intentional, and sustainable and not burn you out. We don't believe in giving you a whole bunch of extra work, but we do believe in teaching you and providing you with resources and systems to make sure that your customer journey is clear, intentional, and sustainable. So with the research, you're going to stop guessing. You're going to look at behavioral data and actually figure out what the hell's going on. With Innovate, we design relief. If they feel drop, design a bridge. Maybe it's communication innovation. Maybe it's improving the tone or timing of your follow-ups. But we research, then we innovate what we found in our research. And then strategize. You're not going to fix the whole journey. Don't you do it. Don't try to fix everything at once or burn the whole thing down. You pick that priority area and you fix that. CX is always evolving, ever evolving. And this is the most important part when it comes to scaling. You have to review the results. Did that change actually improve intention? Did it really? Scaling breaks things, and yeah, it sucks when you're in it. However, it is very normal. When you're in this phase of business, you just don't react to broken things with quick fixes. You have to start evolving and looking at them very intentionally from a different lens. If you want to retain customers, you have to move from being a fixer of the problems to a steward of the experience. You need to ensure that the promise you made during marketing is actually the reality of the experience during delivery, all the way from awareness to creating raging fans. So this week, I want you to take a look at your business. Are you dropping people after the sale? And if you are you brave enough to pause and research the root cause and innovate a solution that actually makes them feel? That right there is how you stop the leak. You can identify the leak in your customer experience by checking out Flow Lab. I will have the link in the show notes. And within 15 minutes, it'll let you know what the priority part of your customer experience is causing you to lose clients somewhere between I'm interested and I'm bringing my friends and signing up for more programs. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Remember, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the new upcoming episodes. Find us on social media at fierceified.agency on Instagram, or find us on Facebook at Fierceified Creative and Consultant.